Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. How are you? Gonna give people some time to get in. Hi. Yes. Hi. We're gonna give. Yes. Hello, Ebony. Hi, everyone. We're gonna give Micaéla some time to get in. Let everyone get settled. Hey. Hi, Simone. Hello. All right. Here we go. Yella.
Hi. How are you?
How are you? I'm doing so good, love. How are you?
I'm great.
Happy,
What
yes.
Today is
Girl, Wednesday. It's all blended together for me. That's me at this point. I'm like, what day is it? First off, you look so cute. Yes, Mama.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you in New York right now?
Yes. I just came back to New York. I was quarantining in New York, in North Carolina for like 2 months, and I just got back this week.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you came back right on time because it's actually
I know exactly. I came back. My block was alive. The trees were bloomed. I was like, okay, look at us. Here we go. Yes. Let's get into it. Yes, we are. Let's get into it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you guys. This is our second episode of Master Manifestors with Soul Sister Network. So for anyone who isn't familiar with Soul Sister Network is a network for women of color, specifically for authenticity, connection, and manifestation. And what that means is when I created Soul Sister Network, I wanted to find and create a space where women of color feel supported to go after their wildest dreams, no matter what that might be, right? And my name is Kanique Swinson, and I'm the founder of Soul Sister Network. And this is Micaéla. Yes. I'm going to pass it over to you and let you do your own intro because I could really get into it, but I'll let you start, girl.
Oh, hi guys. My name is Micaéla Verrelien. I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm of Haitian descent. I'm first generation. I'm a content creator, creative director, model, and now host as well. So
yes.
I'm really excited to be here and like get into some things.
Yes, we love to see it. We love to hear it, baby. Yes. So we're both in New York. We're both in Brooklyn. But if anyone in the comments wants to leave where they are, we would love to know. Let's get into it.
Miss Cadet, she has her Haitian flags.
Yes.
Come on. What's up? Actually, Haiti, we had our Haitian Flag Day, Appreciation Day last week, I believe.
Yes. Wait, so how do people celebrate? I feel like, isn't there normally a festival in the city?
Sometimes they have festivals. That's like Haitian Day Parade. But Haitian Flag Day, it's just like the day, it's a declaration. I feel like every island has their flag. I think yesterday was Guyanese Flag Day. So it's just a celebration of your flag, your independence, and who you are as a culture. It's a really beautiful time. I mean, obviously right now people didn't really get to do much because we're in quarantine, but I saw people dancing and posting, and it was really dope. People are Nova.
People, yes.
I was supposed to be going to New Orleans. But that got postponed. Yeah, got postponed. North Carolina.
That's me at this point. Yes, I see Baltimore's in the building. ATL, yes. Yes, you rep the day. Okay, Miss Cadet, I know that's right. Yes. Okay, so let's get into it. Like I said in the beginning, we're here to talk about manifestation.
I love her so much. I saw your interview with her last week, right?
Yes, she's incredible. She's incredible. We had such a good conversation. And when I sat down to kind of manifest this myself, I was like, okay, who do I really want to start this out with? I wanted to start out with people one, that I was cool with and that were close enough to me that I felt comfortable asking. But second, I wanted it to be people who had a story, who could inspire other people, and who were also relatable. So I immediately went to the two of you. I asked you guys both at the same time, and I was like, hey, I would love to have you. And you guys are both like, yes, let's do it. And I was like, say less. We got our first two. We're in there, baby.
Yeah, she's super dope. Her content is great. Everything about her is great. And she's been doing a lot of lives too, that I've been tuning into some of them as well.
Yes. Shout out to Ivy Coco. What's up, girl? So we're going to get into it. So I just want to preface, all I sent Micaéla before this was like, girl, take us to church. Tell us something that you manifested. And really what this is just to give some inspiration. Like, I feel like a lot of the times when I see manifestation stories, it's from women and like people who don't necessarily look like me. So sometimes when people don't look like you, it makes things feel like they're a little unattainable. So I'm just going to let you take us to church. So before you get into what you're going to tell us about, I want to know, how did you even get introduced to manifestation? Like, was it you sat down and read a book and saw the word? Is it something that you've been doing your whole life? And then you just kind of, oh, hey, that's what it's called. That's what, this word is.
So you said the word church, right? Taking us to church. And I think that's a very specific thing, because anyone who may have grown up in church, such as myself, believes in manifestation. The word just wasn't specific as manifestation. I guess that we use it now. It was just prayer, belief, hope, and faith, right? And I think faith works hand in hand with manifestation. You have to have faith. You have to have hope that anything that you believe will happen. And with that being said, it's not just about believing that it will happen, it's working to make it happen. So I think that these things are so important. And I think the question you're asking me, when did I start believing it? I think that I was born through manifestation. Even like through being born, my mom had difficulties with the birth of me. Like, I was a premature child, and there was thoughts like it was like, should you have this child or should you not? I'm the last person. My mom was a little bit older when she had me. So I basically wasn't even supposed to happen. But through hope, prayer, and faith, I'm born and I'm here.
Yes.
And I'm the last of all the 5 clan. But so I feel like I was not even introduced to manifestation. I feel like I was born.
I love that. That is so powerful, born into it. And it's so funny because I feel like, similar to you, me and Ivy were talking last week about faith being such a huge part of manifestation. And I think for the most part, for me, it was easy to, when I didn't know the word for manifestation until like high school, but I had been living my life by that principle for a long time. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is the principle of it. So for anyone who isn't familiar with manifestation is basically like the belief that you can create the life that you want. As long as it's based on the law of attraction. And what that means is like attracts like. So if you put out positive energy and positive vibrations, positive energy and positive vibrations are going to come back to you. But it also is a catch-22, because it also is built on the fact of, if you have negative vibrations or fear or, doubt, all those kind of things, those patterns will kind of come and continue to manifest negatively in your life. We don't want to harp on that, but we want to harp on the positive here. So we're going to build on that. So Micaéla,
we can talk a little bit about the negative. Even like,
let's do it.
Truly believe, because I'm big on mental health, right? So I think that even with negativity, negative energy from other people, yes, is not good. But I think that negative energy, there has to be a balance, right? Just like if you're a believer, if you're someone who's a believer of God, you have to know that there's good, there's evil, right? And there has to be a balance of that. So if you're trying to be happy every day, that's not going to happen. But if you realize that, once you realize that, when you are happy, you're going to be so like happy that you're actually happy, because you know how it feels to be sad.
Exactly.
Or to not go your way. And it'll make you work 10 times harder to actually attain whatever it is that you're getting. And I think Beyonce had said, like, you got to learn how to lose in order to win. And you just have to.
So true.
Because, even as a child, they kind of teach you. I always try to tell my nieces and my nephews, like, you need to learn how to lose. Like, I beat you in this game, because sometimes they don't know how to lose. They get so upset.
Yes.
I'm like, girl, you need to stop. Okay, you're not gonna win every battle. You have to choose your battles, and you need to just be happy for the person that's winning. So I think that's another key too. It's like, just because someone else is winning right now and it's their season doesn't mean that your season isn't to come. You know, so I think that those are really important things. So some people might take those as negative, but for me, it's like, I lost this one, that's fine. But I also played sports my whole life. You gotta be able to know how to put your head in the game and be able to come back with like 10 swords, like ready to go. You know what I mean?
Ready.
Even if you lose. Losing is, I'm not saying to live a life of a loser, but you need to learn how to lose in order to win.
I love that. You need to learn how to lose in order to win. That is so powerful. And you know what? I'm so glad you brought up this point, and we're already in church and we're in the first 10 minutes. So let's go. For me, it took me a really long time to get that concept. I don't know if anyone else out there can relate, but I like winning. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things of when you feel like you're a perfectionist sometimes. For me, when it comes to manifesting, sometimes fear of not being perfect will keep me from making certain moves and jumping the gun. I don't know if anyone else feels like that out there, or if you've ever dealt with that either. Have you? And if so, how do you deal with that fear when it comes up, or that doubt, or being a little bit afraid to lose, if that makes sense?
I think that we're all, as humans, we're humans. So we're gonna be, we go in, we're born, we're like, as kids, you know what it feels to win, because everyone's like, yay, yay. And then you fall down, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? So I think as a child, we're taught that, right? And we're still the same humans. We just have years on us now. That's the only difference. So of course you're going to want to win. I think everyone wants to win. But I think that I am okay with knowing that everything is not going to go my way, simply because I deal with anxiety. And I feel like if I allow myself to be so stuck into one thing, like I don't stay stuck on my highs either. Even when I'm so happy, I'm happy that I'm happy because I recognize, oh damn, I've been sad for a few days now, but now I'm really happy. So I'm gonna marinate in that happiness. Be like, it's a great day, go outside, take the sun. However, if I am sad too, if I lose at something, that's just gonna make me want to win even more. And it's just like, especially again coming from sports, it's like I give you one, like it's like you lost this one, I got you next time, and it's like I'm cheering myself on, even if someone's putting me down. Because I think even as a Black woman, like they try to tear us apart, they try to bring us down all the time. But it's up to us to uplift ourselves. So if someone says you're not beautiful, you're stupid, or whatever, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's your opinion, but I have mine. And I'm very competitive too, but I'm always competing with myself. It's like if I got a 95 on an exam or something, like when back in high school or in college, I'd be like, all right, like let's try to get the full 100. So it's like being competitive with yourself makes everything that much easier if you lose, because you're competing with yourself. You're competing with no one else. You look to the right, you look to the left. Imagine these are mirrors of who you are, because I love that. You're gonna become you. It's like taking steps to be the better version of yourself than you were yesterday is so important. And I think that if you think about losing, think about losing to yourself, not to anyone else. I love that, because that's a concept that it took me a really long time to get, just being honest, like that habit of comparing yourself to other people. Because for me, it wasn't even like from a hating perspective, it's just like I'll be inspired, but then it'll be like, oh man, okay, if this person is doing this, then that means I should be doing this too. Not realizing, similar to what you said, if you look to the left and look to the right, those are mirrors of yourself. So the only competition you have is you. And that's so powerful. Yeah, so powerful. You're the only competition. And I think that once you start comparing, you've lost, right? That's a fact. Once you start comparing yourself to anyone, you've lost. Because at the end of the day, even so, one of my older sisters, she's an amazing doctor. She does this great, like she's so beautiful, she's so smart. And there's gears of like you thinking that life is perfect. Seeing her grow, like me seeing her grow up, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be just like her. Yeah. I'm not a doctor. but I'm just as
Right.
happy. I'm making money on my own, making money doing what I love and being happy about it. But once I realized that you're my sister, you're not me. You're my friend, you're not me. I was born, even if you're a twin, you're your own person. You
That's
have
so
different
true.
kinds of birth. You have different fingerprints.
Yes.
You are different. Okay?
Yes.
All of us are different. And I think that it's great to have inspiration. That's what these conversations are all about.
Exactly.
And filling a seat at the table, you know what I mean? Like, people think that there's not room on the table if they want to be the only Black girl, the only Latina, or the only Indian, or whatever the case is.
Yep.
But my biggest thing is add to the table and pull up a seat, because at the end of the day, we are all different, and that's the beautiful thing. We all have different stories. Like, my favorite inspiration is the Ava DuVernays, the Issa Rae's. Like, Ava didn't pick up a piano until she was 32, I believe,
which is crazy. Exactly.
But life happens just like that. You know, life is so beautiful just like that. You know, that there's people that are gonna tear us down, but you have to bring yourself up. Imagine if you're falling down a cliff, right? And then God just decides to allow you to grab a part of the cliff. Are you gonna hang on to dear life? You're gonna try to bring yourself up.
Yep.
Because at that day, like at that moment, you're losing. You're fighting. You're fighting for life. And I wish that people would fight for themselves just as much as they would fight if they had the inch that they would be dying, or the inch that they would be like, because you know, when people get sick or things happen, that's when their life starts to change, right?
Yep.
But there's so much life to live. Why not live it so beautiful? So fight for it every single day. But comparing, then that's like, to me, I think comparing is a problematic thing, because you're losing when you do that.
Yep.
You're losing, and you don't want to lose. Only lose to yourself. Lose to no one else.
Yes. Ivy said, I felt that, sis. Me too. Yes, Micaéla. I am here for it all. You are spitting straight facts, for sure. And I can relate to that so much. Like, I feel that so much. And other people in the comments can too. If you guys are feeling this, give me some praise hands, some clap hands, something. Because I'm loving this already. Yes. So let's get into it. Like, take us down a road. Give me 1 or 2 times that you manifested something, and tell me what it looked like from the beginning. Like, don't leave anything out. You know, the high roads, the low roads, everything in between. Take us there. How are you feeling? Did you have fear? Were you feeling comparison? Whatever that was, take us to church, girl. I'm ready. I got my notes, my pen and paper.
So you mentioned fear. I love fear. Fear is such a beautiful thing. I
love
think fear is such a beautiful thing. And the reason why I say fear is a beautiful thing, because fear, if you have fear, that means that you care. Anything.
I love to look at it
if you're going, you know, on a job interview, you really want this job. Your palms are sweating because it means a lot. You want this job. You go on the first date with someone you really like. Ooh, I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous. That, like, butterflies in your stomach. You get butterflies. You get that fear because you care. So I think that, I actually really love fear, because it means I'm excited to now work for it. That's how I see it. It's like fear means
that's a beautiful way to look at it. Yeah.
And that's how I see it. Because once I start being scared, I'm like, even when I started my live series, I'm like, I'm a little scared. Are people gonna Are people gonna say yes to coming on? Are people gonna want to, like, you know what I mean? I moved to New York. I'm like, damn, I have like no friends here. Am I gonna even make friends? How am I gonna start this new life? I'm from a small town. Like, I'm also like, I'm Caribbean. I'm like, am I gonna be around people that are like me? Like, I was around a lot of people that didn't look like me my whole life. So how is this gonna be like? But it was exciting. It was thrilling. That's why people like roller coasters. They like being scared. You know, it's like, I survived it. And the aha moment is so beautiful when you actually made it through what you said you were going to do. But the thing about that is that you have to put in the work. So I moved, I manifested. I remember since I was younger, I used to come to New York when I was younger, and I'd be like, I want to move to New York. I want to move to New York. I want to move to New York. And I remember people were like, oh, whatever. And I remember even some of my family, I was like, I think I want to start a blog. I think I want to do this. I think I kind of want to be on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, haha, yeah, no. And I'm like, damn. And I was upset because it's like the people that's around you, that's close to you, you're surrounding yourself with great people, but you would want them to believe in you, right?
Yeah.
But I was upset then, but I'm really not upset now. You want to know why? It's because you have to believe in yourself more than anyone else believes in you. That's number one. Two, you don't know my journey. Only me and those who believe in God, like I do. God knows my journey. So I actually wouldn't expect you to know and believe what I is to be true. That's between me and up there. And that's between me and myself. So I also realized sharing too much is also kind of like not the best idea, unless it's something is already done and finished.
You know what? I'm glad you asked that. So, I'm glad you asked that question. Someone actually asked that when I put up the questions, like, what do you want me to ask? They asked, when is too soon to share the things that you're manifesting? And I'm going to have you touch on that just because you're already kind of talking about it.
I think in my perspective, keep it to yourself until it's solidified. Like until that contract is there, until that email or whatever it is of communication that you know this is happening. Like I just bought the house, like I got the deed.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like
when it's signed, sealed, and delivered. Yes.
Signing day is here. We are here. Like I think that should talk about it. But the thing is, I mean, also Caribbean people are very superstitious too. So my mama would always be like, Micaéla, you need to like not say anything because you know people will try to harm you. And it's the truth because people will try to harm you, whether it's like someone who secretly hates you or whatever the case is. And even if they love you, because love and hate, again, good and evil, like love and hate work hand in hand. Someone could just as easily love you so much but secretly hate you. And the people that hate you honestly really love you because it's something in you that they see that they don't have themselves that they really want from you. So I would say keep it to yourself. And in terms of like to answer your original, when was the first time I ever manifested and stuff like that? When I moved to New York, it was a very, I guess the beginning stages were very lonely because I had my boyfriend at the time and it was just like him and I. And you don't want to be with your man all the time and not just y'all, whatever the case is.
Exactly.
So it's like finding friends and was kind of a little bit harder, but it took me a really great that time space made me allow myself to start journaling and allowing myself to start writing and knowing more of who I am and knowing my voice. So that if someone tries to ruin that, I'll know my voice and what my voice sounds like, so that it wouldn't bother me. So that goes into like even like losing or comparing yourself. It's like you can compare yourself, you could do that, but if you know your voice, you'll know that there's no comparison and everything is all right. So I decided to buy myself a journal, and every day on the last day of the year, instead, I think photos and pictures are great, but I think that there's something that when you put a pen to paper, that just like you write it down and it happens. Just watch it happen. And I believe I saw Jim Carrey. He was on the Oprah show one time, and if you guys know Jim Carrey or Will Smith, they're probably one of the biggest manifestors of all time.
Yes, they really are.
But Jim Carrey wrote a check to himself for a few $1 million.
I heard this.
And that was before Jim Carrey was famous, before Liar, like everything. And he was like, you know, the sad story, living this card, like he was actually poor. But he's like, you know what? I'm gonna write this check and I'm gonna cash it at the end of the year. And to me, I was like, when I'm listening to this, I'm like, so what happened next? Like, did you cash the check? And
exactly right.
Check, of course, you know, Jim Carrey now, whatever the case is. But that year, when I started watching that, I realized that, and I started watching more of manifestation videos and like what you can do to manifest things down to me is the ideal thing. So I love starting fresh. You know, you have so many chapters in that one novel for the year. I call my years novels, and then each month is a chapter. And I decide that I'm starting a new novel this year. So in my journal, I will be writing everything that it's like if I don't know if you guys remember stages of writing when you're in elementary school, but they have you have a hamburger. It's like your intro, your
yes, I forgot about that.
Fun. And that's life, right? That's your full year. It's creating a novel for yourself. So I write bullet points of my dreams, my aspirations, not only things that I want, but who I want to be. because you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared when things happen, right? Be the same person that you were when you first originally wanted this. You want to be ready, and in order to be ready, that's a different you. That's a different you. Like, you say you want to do this, you say you want to do that, but can I see it? And throughout the year, I do things that are going towards all the things that I really, really, really want to do. So every year, at the last day of the year, that's when I manifest everything that I wanted in the year. And I will say, if I write 20 things, this is just an example. If I just write 20 things in my journal, at least 10 to 15 of them happen that year. And the first year that I did it, I think it was maybe, what year are we in? 2020. It was probably about 4 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, wait. And then I went back to see. I always go back. I'm like, what did I write in this thing? And I go back and I start crossing it off. That was the first year. And I was like, wait a minute. This shit is working. I need to do this every year. So then I started every year. And then every time I write something, I'm telling y'all, writing, it happens. Yes. And you got to work towards it. But it happens.
Yes, it does. And I love that you brought up that analogy, because that's a question I was going to ask you. When you manifest, how do you do it? Because I got that question before too. Do you write? Do you do voice notes? Someone has mentioned to me before, things out, they'll just talk things through on their phone and then go back and listen to it that way. And that method actually works really well for me, because it's like, for me, I like to talk through my emotions sometimes. So for anyone who doesn't identify with writing things out, that could be something that's helpful, because for me, I record it, I leave it in my voice notes, and then I can go back and listen to it in a month or two and go and listen to my train of thought when I was thinking about it and see the difference and how much it has progressed. I do want to say that the comments are going off.
Do you realize sometimes you don't even recognize yourself? You're just like, did I say that, or did I write that?
Yes. And it's because, like, when you manifest, like for me, I manifest when I'm in like two really extreme feelings, right? I don't know if everyone's like that. I manifest when I'm just on top of the world and I'm like, I want this feeling to last forever. Or I manifest when something is not where I want it to be at all. And I'm like, okay, I need to get to the opposite spectrum of this. So it's very like night and day. So if I'm manifesting from like a low vibration point, or I'm like venting, right? From a low vibration point, sometimes I go back and I listen and I'm like, whew, okay, girl, thank God you're not feeling like that no more. Let's really put some positiveness behind this and get you to a better point, manifest you something positive instead of harping on the negative. Yes, the comments are going off about what we were talking about sharing. A lot of people brought up some good points. Raven said, I feel like there's some benefits to sharing, because if you're letting people know you're starting a business, for example, when you mention it to people, you can also open doors to opportunities. And then Markova,
I'd say mention it to people that you can trust. And I'd say mention it to people that you can trust, and mention it to people that you think will support you. Because mentioning it to people a lot of the times that nonetheless, you never know what someone's gonna say. But I'll give a perfect example that we all kind of like. I'm sure there's a lot of people here that watch Insecure. You know, when Issa mentioned that she wanted to do the festival, the people that were closest to her were not supporting her. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a lot of the reality of my past life, and sometimes some of my real life as well. It's not until things are done solid, in an envelope and ready to be mailed out, that people will be like, oh, wow, she did that.
Exactly.
So I think that sharing could be a great thing, because you could share it with someone that you barely even know. A lot of the times, those are the best things. And then they're just like, I'm so excited for you. I actually have this contact, that da-da-da-da-da. And I think that's great. But just know your room, know the energy, know who you're saying it to.
Know the room, know who you're talking to. I love that. I'm writing that down, girl. Know the room. Because you have to, just because you never know people's intentions.
You never know people's intentions, and it hurts sometimes when it's like the people that you care the most about that doesn't really believe in you. But it's just like people, I don't think it's a bad thing all the way. It's just that they want to see you succeed. And it's just sometimes things just seem so unattainable. And it's just like, how are you going to do that if I can't?
Exactly.
How are you going to do that? People have tried to do
that.
But it's just like, but I'm just saying I'm trying.
You
know, I'm just saying I'm trying. And I just want you to believe in you. Even if I fail, at least I tried.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. And then for me, anytime that I'm going to try something, I have to constantly remind myself that I don't have to know how before I start. And that just, once I've been learning that, even doing these lives, I'm like, I've never gone on live before. I don't know if people will watch. You know, you think of all the reasons why stuff won't work sometimes, why your manifestations won't come true. You might ask someone if they want to come on and talk. They might say no, you know, but I found that if you just jump a little bit of the way, the universe or God, the spirit, whatever you believe in, will meet you the other half of the way. You don't have to know everything before you start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, none of us know anything.
Exactly.
None of us know anything. You know, we know what we know because we know through our experience.
Yeah.
But everyone was a beginner. Everyone was a beginner. And
yes.
No one loves to talk about the beginning, but those are the things that really matter because people want to know, how did you get there so I could get there? Share
exactly.
your secrets.
Yes.
Let us know.
Yes.
Let us know what's up. How did you get there? Because those are the most important stories, you know?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So let's go back. You wrote down your list. You're marking things off, right? When you first got to the city, you were manifesting, doing it year over year. What's something that when you marked it off your list, you were like, damn, I did that?
I'll say two things. I know that's the tip of the iceberg. If I watch this again in a few years, maybe I'll be in a totally different place, and who knows. But I remember I was like, I really want to, like, Rihanna's probably one of my most, like, and biggest inspiration. I think also she's one of the Caribbean people right now. Like, we had the white clubs back in the day, Beanie Man, as we could see, you know. But girl, I think Rihanna right now is probably one of the biggest Caribbean sensations, like, straight from the islands. Like, she's one of my biggest inspirations. And I was like, I want to work with Rihanna. I literally was like, I want to work with Rihanna for one of her brands. Like, whether it's like Savage Fenty or Fenty Beauty. And I wrote both of them because they were both out at that time. And I ended up working with both of them. Like, I got to model with stuff for Savage Fenty, which was really cool. And I worked with them on like a campaign, and I worked with them for different influencer campaigns and got featured on their page and different, and like being able to email where the email says Savage Fenty, it's like, okay. Then like they invited us to, like, they had invited me to a show. I was like standing, but it was still really cool because it was on TV, and like I remember people then being like, oh my god, Mika, is that you? And like tagging me, and then when we were watching the Savage Fenty show. So that was really cool. And I feel like that's like the tip of the iceberg because I hopefully one day will actually work with Rihanna and actually in a bigger capacity. But just being able to, like, you know, they paid me, and I'm like, all right, I've been buying Rihanna stuff forever. So I'm like, she gave me something. So that was cool. And then also doing a takeover for Fenty Beauty, that was really cool because, like, I love Fenty Beauty, and I think that it's something that she created a trend, like, where other makeup brands were trying to get on the trend. And I'm like, but bro, that is literally, someone said you're in the Savage Fenty inbox. Yeah, I am their inbox. I'm like on their mailing, whatever they do with those pictures.
Yes, Micaéla.
Or like as an influencer, once you shoot and they're using your stuff, you're just like, it'd be everywhere. But that's something I manifested because I really wanted to work with Rihanna for the things that she's doing and support in that way, but also just be a part of it because I feel like she's making history. So that was one thing. And then two, one of the biggest things I manifested was being signed to Wilhemina. That was the first thing I think I was go when I first on my first journal. And again, when you manifest things, they don't always happen when you want them to happen. They happen when you're ready.
Speak on it.
So I think that it's like, that was something I manifested. And now that I'm signed with them, I'm not signed to them as just a model. Like, if I get modeling gigs, then they take care of it, but I'm signed to them as talent, which for me is even better because now I can, if I get influencer campaigns, they take care of it. If I get modeling campaigns, they take care of it. If I get acting stuff, they take care of it. So I feel like God allowed me to be where I needed to be, but on a bigger capacity. So those are, I feel like, the biggest things that I had manifested that happened. Of course, a lot of other things happened too, but those are my top two, like you mentioned.
Yes, baby girl, that is it. What you said when you said manifestations don't happen when you want them to happen sometimes. They happen when you're ready and when you can receive them. And that's so clear because you said that was one of the first things that you wrote. So I'm sure it took you time to get there. And I'm sure it took some alignment to get there too. And then that way, when the opportunity presented itself, you were more than ready and you had already manifested it. And like you mentioned in the beginning, you were working towards it. So sometimes I think that when you write stuff down or when people talk about manifesting, they talk about it in a way of, I'm going to open up my journal, I'm going to write something down, I'm going to close my journal, and the universe is going to bring it to me. Whereas I think that part is true, but like you mentioned in the very beginning, you have to put the work in, right? So what did the work look like for you when you were getting to those two goals? What did it look like?
So I'll start with Wilhemina first. I think that setting yourself up for success and whatever that success looks like for you, but setting yourself up for that. Meaning, like, I know that when you're casted as talent, right? Now, like, I'm doing more lives. I want to do more acting stuff. So I need to be able to know how to be on camera all the time and how to actually be comfortable with that while people are looking at you. If I do a live or whatever the case is. So there's that. That's one of the reasons why I started my life too, is being more comfortable on camera and utilizing the skills that I have to share other people's works, because I'm inspired by a lot of these people. So hopefully they can be inspired as well. So that's one. And then two, giving yourself a catalog. So when I first moved to New York, the biggest thing, it's like I kept saying, I want to do this. I want to do these things. I want to do these things. And I met some amazing people. When you first moved to New York, you're like, this is why I moved here. I'm meeting on the right room. But I wasn't ready, y'all. I was not ready. Everyone that I met that could have changed my life was just like, do you have a website? What's your Instagram? What's going on? And I'm just like, but I'm gonna have it. I'm working on it. I'm like, and I had excuses. So less excuses, right? And being silent in a room is a beautiful thing too. I learned how to be silent in a room and just watch and pay attention to people that I felt like were doing things that I wanted to do as well. And when I was ready, my time will come. So patience is very much key. So building of work is, I remember like when with Wilhemina, before they sign you, it's like a thorough search. Like you have meetings on meetings. They want to know who you are. They want to see if you can make it. They want to see how much they can kind of like utilize you. Are you worth signing as talent, whatever. So I had to literally bring in my catalog of things that I've done, things that I've done on my own, campaigns as an influencer that I've worked on, what my net was for the year, whatever the case is. So that made me ready, because when I first moved here, I was 22 and have a catalog. I just knew that I wanted something. That's the first step. I just knew I wanted something, and I worked towards it. Was the catalog. So I had a catalog. I had to work to show like what I was doing, and now to have like a full team, it's like, to me, that's amazing. And people that are rooting for you just as much as you're rooting for yourself is it. And in terms of like Savage Fenty Beauty, it's like, hopefully one day I get to actually model with them, but like as an influencer, working with them on campaigns, and for Savage Fenty, working with them on modeling stuff is great. But I started doing lingerie stuff too, but lingerie stuff that I'm comfortable with. Because that's the thing about Savage. It's like being a Savage looks different for everyone. And I think that it's a beautiful thing to have a body as a woman, because there's so many different types of bodies. And I think that for me, I showed my skin in a way that I felt comfortable. In a way that my mom would be like, girl, what you want me to do? But, because she follows me. But,
come on, mama.
Yeah. But I definitely, it's like, if you have a brand that you guys want to work with, those of you guys are watching, if you have a brand that you love, a brand that you really want to work with, start using that brand. Tag the hell out of them. DM them, show that you are using the product, show that you can model. If you want to model, give me a catalog. Like a catalog, I need more than 10 pictures. I want to go on your Instagram and see that, oh, this girl's a model. I want to go on your Instagram and say, this girl can create content. I want to go on your Instagram and see like, oh, she can do video. She can act. I can hire her for this. Because if you're looking to get hired, I want to be able to see that I can hire you. And I think that's what PR and other brands are looking at when they're looking for talent. So if you're one of those people, or if you're a businesswoman, say for instance, if you want to own a business or whatever, you have a coffee shop or food or nails. For me, if I'm looking to get my nails done, I'm gonna be like, all right, do they have an Instagram? And I'm searching, I'm looking at the nails that they've done. Like, so that's a catalog, right? And that's working. It's me. That's me seeing your work.
Yes, sis. Coming with the jewels. Yes. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Questions. Let's see if this comes up. Listen, so also knowing you are most likely going to lose, but maybe the experience is worth it. How do you weigh your future failures?
Also knowing you're mostly likely going to lose, but maybe the experience is worth it. How do you weigh your future failures? I think that's a really great question, but don't go in thinking that you're going to lose.
That's what I was just about to say.
You're going to lose.
Yeah.
Go in thinking that you're going to be a winner. And winning again is very, it's a sticky situation, right? Even if someone thinks that, oh, such and such, like, what's her name? Oh, she doesn't have her name on there. But say, for instance, if they said, oh, well, such and such, you lost this round. And it's like, yeah, to you I lost, but I learned. Like, learning is a good thing because you have to learn. You don't think, like, if Beyonce's Beyonce, she could dance her ass off. But don't you think that to dance like that, because I used to be a dancer, you have to be able to have a lot of momentum. Breathing, practicing makes perfect. And I'm sure she fell on her ass multiple times. I think there's a video of her falling, and she acted like she didn't even fall.
Yes, her going down those steps. She didn't lose.
She didn't lose. It's like, you thought I lost. Like, you thought I lost. Now it's like, I'm ready to go. Like, you thinking I lost is giving me more momentum.
Exactly. Because you think that I'm slipping, but really, I just learned.
Exactly. So it's like, next time you come, just come for me. Just come for me. Because I learned. So learn from your mistakes, y'all. Don't just make them, but learn from them.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Let me see. So to piggyback off of what you were saying before, so you manifested these things are, moving. How do you figure out what's next, right? Do you have a problem when you're manifesting? Like, let's say you're listing out these goals. When you're listing out goals, do you sometimes write things out and go, maybe that's too big?
No.
Have you ever had that feeling? No. Yes, I love it. Why not? What's going through your head when you're writing these big dreams down?
I'm a dreamer. I have always been someone who would embellish as a kid, because I truly believe who we are as kids are still who we are. We still have that little kid in us, and kids are the best dreamers ever. Like, I want to fly higher than the sky.
Yep.
Sure, you're going to fly higher than the sky. Like, sure, you know what I mean? It's up to the moms to be like, yeah, sure, you can do that. But yeah, I've always been a dreamer. So when I would write stories in school and the teacher would be like, oh, write about your weekend. I literally probably, my mom took us to the grocery store and we went to my aunt's house. Well, I wore a darling dress and it was so beautiful. It was pink and with the ruffles. Then my mom picked us up in the new car. She just got a car with daddy, and we headed to my aunt's house and had really great food. And I was always that person.
Imaginative,
right? Because these were happy thoughts. And I think that being alive is a beautiful thing, and it's being alive is like, it's exciting. It's exciting to be alive. So I feel like I don't think that anything is too big because we all bleed red. Like, we all bleed red. And that's the thing. It's like anything that someone else can do, I can do it too. We just have different routes to get to the same place. But your place and my place might not look the same. You know? How to get there and how I get there might not look the same. your house right now, the apartment that you're in, all of us have somewhere that we lay our head in, like where we lay our heads at night. But I'm sure that there's so many directions to get there. So with that being said, why limit yourself? Why limit yourself when the possibilities are literally endless?
Yes, I love this. I love this energy. So we have a couple more questions that are coming. Actually, a lot more questions. I love this. I saw a couple of people actually. Yes, let's put this one. Here we go. Fair and Love said, how do you maintain balance when negative thoughts creep in? And I saw a similar comment come in like our video comments. So I'm curious, because this is a really good question. Thank you, Farah, because one thing that I love about this conversation so far is your mindset is spot on, girl. I can tell that anytime something negative comes, you're like, not over here, because I'm here. This is me all day long. So how do you maintain that balance? Like, I know you're human, so negative thoughts have to creep in. So when they do creep in, how do you deal with them?
I know my voice. I know my voice. I know what my voice sounds like, which is why I think that if you're doing like the voice notes and you're writing, knowing your voice is probably the most ideal thing to have. Because when I've had negative thoughts happen all the time, and, you know, whatever things are happening, it's like, you suck, or whatever the case is. No, seriously, like, weird things will come into your mind just out of nowhere. And I'm like, what in the world? You better stop. Like, we're not doing this today.
Exactly, not today.
We're not doing this today. Come on, man. We're not doing this today. And I start I literally tell myself, I'm like, no, that's not you. So knowing who you are and knowing your voice, I feel like that's the biggest thing.
And the way that I know your voice.
Yeah, knowing your voice. And the way that I balance it all and to remove the negative things is just like, you're gonna be sad, y'all. Like, it doesn't matter how many Oprah Soul Sundays we watch, like, we gonna be sad. we gonna have some sad days. But just know that those sad days don't last forever. And I hope you're praying, if you believe in prayer, pray your ass off that you have more good days than bad days. Pray that you have more good days than bad days. But knowing your voice, I feel like, is so valuable, because when something creeps in, it's just like, that's not your voice. That's the you know how, like, you have in those shows sometimes they'll have like the devil and the angel.
On both shows.
The devil saying, like, you suck, you're terrible, like, I hate you, your body sucks, I hate your skin, I hate your hair, or whatever it is people say. But the good angel is like, you got this, you killing it, today's gonna be beautiful, you know. And sometimes sleep it off. Sleeping things off is a hell of a thing.
It is, girl. It helps me anytime prayer, sleeping, and talking are the things that get me out of my head. That's just me. So prayer, again, not that everyone's religious, but for me, if I can get on my knees and pray about it, I'll be all right. Because anytime I start to pray, praying reminds me of who I am. It reminds me, like, okay, you are so capable of everything that you see yourself accomplishing. Like, for me, it took me a long time. I forgot who originally said this comparison, but I read that it said, like, God is in you, right? If you believe in God, God is in you, which means that if God can do anything, you can do anything. So if you look at it in that comparison, for me, that simplified it. So I'm like, if God can do anything, then clearly I can launch my own business. If God's in me, he can do anything. So that means I can do anything. And it made me learn my voice. I'll say that, because me knowing my voice, I feel like I'm just now to a point where I know my voice. It took me a really long time. So for anyone out there who's learning their voice, like, sometimes my stress comes to me and it feels like it's my voice. But after I sit with it for a little bit, similar to you said, I'll realize it's the devil and it's the angel on this shoulder. And then I'm like, okay, actually, okay, we know what's up.
Yeah, like, we're not doing this today. Like, we're just not.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Not today.
I'm sorry to you, but, like, we're unfortunately, it's not the time for this today. I got things.
Exactly. Not today. Yes, too many things to manifest. I'm trying to be on Savage Fenty. I'm trying to have modeling gigs. Like, I don't have time for this, you know? Yes.
I don't. I really don't. Maybe save it for Saturday when when emails stop.
At this point, I don't even know what day is Saturday and what
stay in
day is
bed,
Thursday.
relax.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like leave it for Saturday where I can stay in bed and, you know, watch some Netflix or something, but not during the week. We got work to do.
Yes, girl. Okay. Yes. I cannot believe it's 8:50 already. I feel like we just started.
I know.
This is crazy. This literally fed me so, like, my soul is so full right now. If you guys feel rejuvenated, give me some hearts in the comments. Micaéla, I love this.
That you're doing this. I love that you start your own platform. Yeah. I know it's gonna go like crazy because we need this. Like, especially all of us women of color. I see a lot of women of color in the comments. Like, we need this. We need conversations like this. We need platforms like this. So thank you so much for having it, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, babe. You know, it's funny because in the spirit of knowing your own voice and fear and all that stuff, I wanted to launch this platform for a really long time. And there was that weird fear coming, telling me that it was a space that was oversaturated and all this kind of stuff. And then the moment that I created it, this is the only feedback that I've been getting, that people are happy to have the space. And I'm so glad I created it because I can tell the difference in myself, the difference in other people who are on the platform. So just thank you for coming and believing in the platform. And before we wrap it up, I want you to tell us, one, how can we keep in touch with you? And two, something that you're excited about that you can share that's like on the way, that's upcoming, that's like a close manifestation.
You guys can find me at Micaéla Verrelien. That is my Instagram name. DM me if you guys ever have questions. If you're like newly starting as either a content creator, or you're wanting to know how to just like get into the industry or modeling or whatever the case is, don't be afraid to DM me. I do respond back. I get to every DM usually, maybe not at a timely manner, but I definitely respond back to everyone.
Yeah.
So just, I think it's like you could find me, click on my app and you'll see my name, and you can find me on Instagram. Something I'm really excited about, y'all. On Sunday, I have like a really cool event that I'm doing, and I'm gonna be on live for like 6 hours, probably the longest time.
Yes.
My eyes are gonna need a check. I thank God I have. Thank God I have insurance. But yeah, Monday I'm gonna be working on something for mental health. It's gonna be on live, a full day of a mental health segment. I have an IG series called Love to Hear It, and it's gonna be a full day of me speaking to some amazing creators who I feel like are very inspirational and enthusiastic, and gonna get everyone piped up while they're home, and giving them different like little notes that you can take to be better at home during quarantine.
Yes, I love it, and I will be there. Micaéla has been doing these lives literally every day, and it has uplifted me in so many ways. I feel like you've been doing it now for at least a month, right?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. That's why I'm like, well, I tune in basically every day. Great content. She's a great interviewer, and I am so excited for Sunday. And Sunday is like her big, like, last hurrah. Like, she's bringing everyone in. Yes, it's the big season finale. So hopefully you guys check her out on her page on Sunday. What time?
It's gonna be starting from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're gonna have three musicians, so it's gonna be live music as well. Towards the end, it's like starting off with like boosting confidence and getting in there, and then towards the end of the night, it's like let's chill, drink some wine, listen to some music. I might have an outfit change.
Come on, outfits! We got options. Yes, and you've been dropping so many gems. So I can only imagine what is about to happen on Sunday. I will be there again with my pen and with my notes. Yes, thank you so much.
Miss Cadet, she's so dope. Ivy, you stayed here. I love you so much.
The whole time.
I feel like me and Ivy may have met in person one time, but I haven't seen her since the first time I met her.
She's dope. She's dope.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
Really dope. But I don't be in California. I was supposed to, me and my friends went to Cali a few months ago before the shutdown. Yeah. And they got to meet up with her, but I didn't.
The next time she's in New York, all of us have to get lunch or brunch or something. We'll make that happen for sure. It'll be like a mini Soul Sister brunch. That might be in 2021, baby, but it'll happen.
First of all, y'all, she just said it and it's gonna happen. She's gonna have a full Soul Sister dance panel. She's gonna have, you guys are all gonna meet in person. We're all gonna be there.
That's it, baby. Let's go.
There's gonna be great food. There's gonna be great food, appetizers, sponsors, everything.
Yes. It's a whole thing. We are manifesting it, baby. That's what I'm manifesting. Yes, baby. Yeah. Come on, Eastside Evo said I'm booking a flight. Yes. You guys were so active in the comments. Yeah, I loved it. You guys were so interactive. Thank you so much for being here. For anyone who doesn't follow Soul Sister Network, you can follow me at Soul Sister Network. Again, I'm the founder of Shanique. You can click the link above. Join our community, women of color. I guess women in general, just come, get fed, live your best life, join a community of women who look like you, who are manifesting their best lives and holding space for other women who want to manifest their best lives too. Yes. Awesome. Yes. All right, baby girl. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for being in the comments. Y'all are awesome and fantastic. And y'all kept me on my toes.
You're welcome, all you guys. I love you guys so much. Again, don't be afraid to ask questions. DM me if you have any questions, and make sure you follow Soul Sister Network.
Yes. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.